Hello, everyone. My name is Terry Lynn. My daughter is Grace. We come from Newfoundland in Canada. My daughter is 19 years old with diamond black fan anemia, and she has been transfusion dependent since birth.
My daughter Caitlin has DBA. She's had it since birth, and there's only a couple ways that we can treat it right now. It's steroids, it's transfusions, and it's bone marrow transplant.
My son has DBA, and he's a 16-year-old, and he has been transfusion dependent for the last 10 years. So that means he's got to get a packed red blood cell transfusion every month of his life in order to live, just like you and I need to eat.
Our oldest son, Trevor, he was 18 months old. We noticed that he was a little lethargic, a little pale, and everyone was saying how, your baby looks sick, So on the way home, Carol was nearly in tears. And I said, let's take him to the hospital, take him to the doctor tomorrow, and just check him out.
I was alerted that Trevor was coming into the ER with the concern of a very low hemoglobin. By the time he arrived, the concern for leukemia and cancer was dropped significantly.
The doctors here in Cleveland really could not put a finger on what it was. We actually went all around the country, even outside of the country, up to Toronto. He was finally diagnosed at the National Institute of Health with something called diamond black fan anemia.
We really count on research because that's really his only chance to live to an old age. And we've been very fortunate, the Friends of DBA and the DBA Foundation and others who have been providing funds for researchers, for scientists.
In 2007, Carol received a letter from the National Foundation saying, hey, we need funds for research. We don't have enough money coming in.
After I read this letter to Jim, I said to him, let's have a golf outing. Our golf outing was so successful, we decided to continue this venture into raising money and raising awareness for Friends of DBA and for DBA research.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of large companies investing money in sponsoring Diamond Black Fan Anemia Foundation.
Research means everything to us because without that research, we're stuck with the current therapies that are out there. So anything that anyone can do to help us with it is absolutely a godsend, and we always hope for new therapies, new treatments, and ultimately a cure for DBA so that our children and adults don't have to deal with the disease.
The advances that we've seen just since my son has been born have been phenomenal. Things like gene therapy and new drug discovery, and without research, none of that would be possible. So thank you.
Thank you so much for all the love and support that you have continued to show us. Without your support, Friends of DBA could not continue supporting much needed research. It means so much to my parents who started this foundation because of me, but it never was about me. It was always about supporting others.
One of the first questions that was asked to me is, what does Friends of DBA mean to me? Well, there's not enough time in a day, really, for me to explain to you truly what they mean to us. Carol and Jim became fast friends when we met at Camp Sunshine many years ago, a camp for kids with DBA. They quickly became family, and I have so much love and respect for them and what they do. They help so many families in so many ways. They don't just help with research, but financial needs, and if people need help with their homes and medical needs, and just having a place to turn to like Friends of DBA is a pretty remarkable thing that not a lot of people with illnesses have.
I was able to live a pretty normal life, and I still am. There are other patients who are not as fortunate as I am. So you are here supporting this foundation, not for me, but for them.
We raise money for research, we raise money to support families in any way we can, whether it's to get them to the right doctors, to get them to New York to see the DBA doctors. It's all of the above. This mission and this journey that we've been on has been good for the whole family because it's given us a reason to fight, and we want to not only help find a cure for Trevor, but for these other kids that suffer this disease.
It's fairly easy to support this mission when you look at all of that they went through, and then when you know from a medical perspective, people who go through this similar situation are going through. I mean, at their own expense, they travel to Toronto, they travel to Washington.
DBA research means so very much because maybe someday, because of that research, there will be a cure for people like my daughter.
It's a no-brainer to be involved with this organization in an attempt to help other people navigate the system without financial worries.
So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your support.